Well, guys, no doubt, most of you have experienced the coming snowfall phenomena. You know, where the local weather starts broadcasting about 3 days before it happens and starts telling about the coming snowfall, the coming accumulation, the coming ice, the possible school closings, the possible power outages. And when people hear this, they all run to the supermarket as quick as they possibly can and wipe a lot of things out of the supermarket. This happens every time here where I am. They can have a weather forecast that's predicting, some snow. And it can just be, 3 or 4 inches of snow. And Walmart, the dollar stores, will be full of people hitting those stores, picking up the things they think they'll need for a few days. Happens every single time. And it's the same thing, or will be the same thing, with any other type of emergency. If people know that something's going to happen, they will go to the supermarket, go to the Walmart, the grocery store, the dollar stores, wherever, and pick up everything they possibly can. And it's kind of predictable what people buy, what people purchase, what people stock up on. Usually, we have the bread and the milk. That's the first two things that's gone. So I'm not going to talk about those two things in this video. But I'm going to talk about 10 other things that people stock up on first. That way you kind of know what to go get early before everyone else shows up. Well, you can get stocked up before it happens. If you can stock up 6 months before, that's great. That way you can just stay home, not have to worry about it. You don't have to fight all the crowds, don't have to go in and try to pick up things. And in certain situations, some store owners might jack the prices up. They know you need it. They know the supply is running out, and they know you will pay double or triple what you would normally pay in a lot of cases. So that does happen, price gouging. So it's important to know, what to stock up on. So let's talk about 10 things that I have seen that sell out first in a crisis. And guys, number 1 is water. Water always sells out very quickly in a crisis. My local Walmart will have a whole section full of bottled water, gallon jugs full of water. There's some 2.5 gallon jugs there, and quickly that will sell out, especially if it's going to be a long-term extended type thing, and they're saying could be snowed in, for a week or more with power outages, and your pipes could freeze up and you have no water. So water is one of the things people hit every single time, and that gets depleted pretty quickly here where I am, and it probably does where you are also. So having a good supply of clean drinking water is extremely important. And if you know a crisis is going to happen, you can get to that first and stock up on that. You're better off to have it now. But if you're going to go to the supermarket, go to the Walmart, go to wherever, and top your supplies off, that's one of the first things I would go for, to get some extra water. And guys, number 2 is toilet paper. We saw this during the COVID pandemic. Everyone went and bought out the toilet paper and the paper towels. It was all over the news media, shortages of toilet paper and paper towels. And they would go buy that before people would go and buy food, it seemed, or medication and things. They would stock up on that toilet paper. Walmart was empty, the dollar stores was empty, and when you did find it, people would grab it as quickly as possibly could. And one thing was that it was on the media that people were stocking up on this, and it was in short supply and the stores were running out. So as soon as someone saw something, they would buy it, because they didn't think, or they didn't know for sure that they're going to ever get any more toilet paper or not, because this pandemic is here. Everyone had their mask on, everyone staying 6 foot apart. It was constantly on the media, and it lasted for like 3 years, constantly blah 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 about the pandemic. And people got frightened, and people knew that the toilet paper aisles and the paper towels were always low, so as soon as they saw, they would buy that and stash that back, and that caused even more shortages. So as soon as something happens, to get some water and some toilet paper and paper towels if you need that. And guys, number 3 is gasoline. People, if they know it's going to be an emergency, they will go fill their vehicles up. They will fill up any empty cans that they have full of gasoline. So if you need that, you're better off to have some stored back, obviously, because we're preppers and we should. But if you have, some things that are containers that are empty, you need to top your vehicle off. Go do that as quickly as possible, because people hit those gas pumps, especially if it's going to be a major storm like a hurricane or something like that. They think they may have to bug out very quickly. They will stock up in jugs in the back of their vehicles for extra gasoline. People will fill their vehicles up and they will take off to bug out. So it's important to have gasoline on hand and some good jugs. You can store that for longer periods of time if you get 100% gasoline. If you get the gasoline with the 10% ethanol, it doesn't store as long because the ethanol will turn into water. If you get the 100% gasoline, it lasts longer. So if you're going to store gasoline, any volume, I would suggest getting 100% gasoline with no ethanol and using stable in that to extend that storage life. You can get several years out of that actually if you get the 100% gasoline and put that stable fuel stabilizer in your cans. And guys, number 4 is beer. People will always stock up on liquor. Beer, liquor, Jim Beam, vodka, whatever. They will go get that because they think they're going to be snowed in for a while or they're going to be homebound for a while and they want to have something to take the edge off. So if someone is a drinker, and a lot of people are, they will go buy that beer first, go buy that whiskey first. They will stock up on that over food because they panic because, they need this alcohol to keep the boredom away and to keep those shakes at bay. So they will go get beer and whiskey. So know that if you use that, you're better off if you don't, but if you do, then it wouldn't hurt to have some stored back. If you need to top off your supplies, go get that. As soon as you find out anything might happen, go get your beer, go get your whiskey, go get your supplies where you can stay plastered during the whole disaster, the whole power outage, the whole ice storm, snowfall, whatever. You can stay and wake up in 4 or 5 days and hopefully it'll be over. Not prepping advice, but that is what a lot of people try to do, so know that sells out very quickly. And guys, number 5 is canned pinto beans. Here where I am during the COVID pandemic, I saw pinto beans going off the shelves as quickly as they would put them on. I mean, for some reason, people here love pinto beans. It might not be the same way where you are, but that's one of the top sellers in the canned food, the store-bought canned goods, was pinto beans. I mean, they would put them on the shelf, and you could see people just lining up to get those pinto beans. It was difficult to get a can of pinto beans for like 3 years here because everyone was going out and purchasing those. They were buying them by the case and stocking those back. So pinto beans, at least where I am anyway, is one of the top canned foods to get and store back. Very, very quickly, they're off the shelf. People love pinto beans, especially here where I am, so something to keep in mind. It might be different where you are, but the pinto beans here, man, during the COVID pandemic, they were gone very, very quickly off the shelves. And guys, number 6 is other canned foods. Besides pinto beans, people like to stock up on canned foods because they have a good storage life. They have their own water supply, so people will stock up on those when they know emergency is coming. And the first things to go usually is canned meals. Like you have canned soup, for example. If you have beef stew, things that are a meal in and of itself. People don't want to cook, so buying, individual vegetables like peas and carrots and things to make your own soup with, that doesn't sell out as quickly. It sells, but not as quickly as meals in a can. So people want to get that, have that already ready to go, open that up, heat that up, and they're ready to go. And that's actually the best way, in my opinion, to use canned foods in most instances, especially in an emergency when your power supply may not be, unlimited. You may have to use, a Coleman camping stove, for example, when you want to save some of your fuel. So you don't want to be trying to cook, big, complicated, major things. So having things simple, like in a can, like some beef stew in a can, put in your pot, heat it up, and ready to go. Pinto beans, the same way, can make a meal in and of itself. So those things go pretty quickly, I've noticed anyways. Like I said, it could be different where you are, but here the pinto beans go first, and then canned soups and canned beef stew and things like that are second in line as far as the canned foods disappearing off the shelves. And guys, number 7 is soda, or as we call it around here, pop. I don't suggest you drink this crap at all, but a lot of people still do because it's full of sugar. It's not healthy. It's diabetes in a can is what that it is. But people still drink it, and when they think it's going to be less supply, they can't get out, they will stock up on that. So if you do drink that crap and you want to have some of that put back, go ahead and get some of that now and kind of rotate it in and out of your supply, and know that that's one of the things that go first during the crisis is soda or pop. Mountain Dew, full of sugar. I think it's like 12 teaspoons of sugar in a Mountain Dew. I mean, really, in a 12-ounce can of Mountain Dew, that's a lot of sugar. If you drink that, if you drink those every day, several a day, can you imagine at the end of the month how much sugar you put in your body during that month's time? Definitely not good, but it does sell pretty quickly during an emergency if people want to have that comfort of that sugar, I guess. So that's something to keep in mind. And guys, number 8 is baby diapers and formula. You can't put back a lot of diapers because, those babies grow very quickly. But you can put back, some ahead just in case. But know that those will sell out pretty quickly. Baby diapers, formula, and other things for, small children. Because people will take care of their kids. Hopefully they do anyways. Most people do. Some people, unfortunately, don't. But most people want to take care of their children. So they will go out and stock up on these things as quickly as possible. Diapers, wipes, formula, whatever your baby needs, try to get that stocked back as much as possible. And know when you go to top your supplies off that those baby items will sell out pretty quickly. And guys, number 9 is eggs. Eggs probably should have been up at the top of the list because usually, if you notice, it'll be milk, bread, and eggs that sell out before everything else does. So actually, eggs should have been at the top instead of at number 9. But my list here isn't in direct order. It's just a random list of the top 10 things that I think will sell out, that I've noticed that actually do sell out first during a crisis. So, eggs. If you don't have any chickens, you like eggs, then I would suggest, when you go to the supermarket, to top your supplies off, if you can, get a couple of cartons of eggs and throw in your shopping cart to have those on hand through, your emergency. And guys, number 10 is boxed foods. Cereal, crackers, things like that. People, macaroni and cheese, any type of boxed foods. Most of these boxed foods aren't healthy. They're full of crap that you eat, but a lot of people still will eat those, and there's a lot of comfort in those familiar foods during, long-term grid down type things happen, for a week or 2 weeks. If you have food you're used to eating, it'll make that go by, a whole lot better. Hopefully things get better in a couple of weeks. Sometimes it don't, depending on what that it is. Like this hurricane that happened in North Carolina, that's been 2 weeks ago or more now, and people are still in dire straits and will be forever, most likely. They will probably have to sell their property to the state. The governor's already suggesting buyout, and they may force the people to sell that property because they want to get that lithium. That's what it is, in my opinion. So they're going to force everyone to sell out. So it's going to be a lot of stress, devastation on those people for a long time. So not all disasters are over like a snowstorm in a few days, or a ice storm takes the power down for a few days and it comes back up. Some things last, a long time. Economic collapse, for example, will last decades. We'll feel the repercussions of unchecked spending when this economy collapses for decades. The United States may not never get back to normal, but I'm getting off on a different topic now with these long-term disasters. I'm just talking about the 10 things that sell out first, that sell out quickly. So let's go down this list again. We have number 1, water. Number 2, toilet paper. Number 3, gas. Number 4, beer and liquor. Number 5, canned pinto beans. Number 6, other canned foods. Number 7, soda, pop. Number 8, baby diapers and formula. Number 9, eggs. And number 10, boxed foods. So let me know in the comments below if you agree with this list, or if you saw other things where you are that sell out quickly. They're going to have a snowstorm, and they're predicting that, and you are watching the shelves for like 3 days, and what you see is getting lower the quickest. What sells out the quickest in your area? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video, hopefully.